सुनेजा जी
ये वो सारा स्टाफ
क्या तैयारी है भाई?
तैयारी नहीं है सर, आज सब ऐसे ही आना है।
तैयारी नहीं है।
बहुत लेट कर रहे हैं।
नमस्कार। नमस्कार। आपने भी एक मीटिंग बुला रखी है
मैंने तो हमें तो
शुल्क वाली,
हाँ
वो उसके लिए बैठ खड़े हुए हैं वो लोग। हमने कहा
वो
आप
शुल्क
रुकिए।
अभी 11 बजे थोड़े है।
और जल्दी था, वो तो 10 बजे से बैठे हैं। नमस्ते। नमस्कार। हाँ, वो भी कर रहा है। नमस्ते। नमस्कार। बहुत बढ़िया। नमस्कार। वेरी गुड टू सी यू। मैं तो आपको फ़ोन कर रही थी, लेकिन आपका फ़ोन तो लगना नहीं चाहता चाहिए। अच्छा, नेट से जुड़ना, बिना नेट के भी तो लगे नेटवर्क नहीं आता होगा। बहुत देर में आप लोग गुड मॉर्निंग। नमस्कार नमस्कार नमस्कार।
कोई बात नहीं। गुरुओं का सम्मान।
एक फोटो ले लीजिए। आइए सर।
Our distinguished chief speaker here, Dr. Vidita Jindal ma'am, and I request you all of you to give a big round of applause to welcome ma'am. Now I request Professor Rishipal sir to present a token of appreciation to our chief guest Nagpal ji and welcome him.
सर। सर।
Now I request to Dr. Amanji to present a token of appreciation to Suneja sir. Now I request Dr. Sudarshan Mishra.
यस सर। हाँ जी सर। वेट। थैंक यू।
Moving ahead, and I invite Dr. Pankaj ji to welcome and present a token of appreciation to Professor Jamal Siddiqui sir. Please show some energy and give a big round of applause. Thank you. Now I invite Dr. Mitika ma'am to present token of appreciation and welcome Professor M. Feroz sir. Ishita Sharma ji, and I invite Dr. Sunita Sonkar ma'am to welcome and present a token of appreciation to Miss Ishita Sharma ji.
Dr. Neeta Jindal is also here. Both three. We have.
Thank you.
Acha, okay.
So now we move towards our formal inauguration of this seminar, and I'm thrilled to invite our Honorable Vice Chancellor ma'am and special guests and other dignitaries to for lamp lighting and floral presentation on the Devi Saraswati Pratima. Ma'am, please, I request you to. Now I.
तुषार हार धवला या शुभ्र वस्त्रावृता या वीणा वरदण्ड मण्डितकरा या श्वेत पद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युत शङ्कर प्रभृतिभिः देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेषजाड्यापां शुक्लां ब्रह्मविचारसारपरमा आद्यां जगद्व्यापिनीं वीणापुस्तकधारिणीं अभयदां जाड्यान्धकारापां हस्ते स्फाटिकमालिकां विदधतीं पद्मासने संस्थितां वन्दे तां परमेश्वरी भगवती बुद्धिप्रदां शारदाम्. तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु हि इस गुरुकुल का नारा है. तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु हि इस गुरुकुल का नारा है. शाकुंभरी मातु ने देकर अपना तेज सवारा है. शाकुंभरी मातु ने देकर अपना तेज सवारा है. तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु हि इस गुरुकुल का नारा है. जहाँ शिवालिक की चोटी से शीतल मंद समीर बहे, गोरखवाणी ऋषि मुनियों की प्रेरक योगी कथा कहे. यमुना तट से गंगा जी तक सींचे पावन धरती को. यमुना तट से गंगा जी तक सींचे पावन धरती इस गुरुकुल का नारा है। हरी भरी उर्वर धरती पर उपजा ज्ञान और विज्ञान, अर्जित कर सत्कर्म करे हम, दिग दिगंत हो गौरवगान। शोध और चिंतन से कर ले नई खोज और आविष्कार, ओजस्वी हो शिष्य जिन्हें गुरुओं ने सतत निखारा है। शाकुंभरी मातु ने देकर अपना तेज सवारा है। तेजस्विनावधि तमस्तु ही इस गुरुकुल का नारा है। तेजस्विनावधि तमस्तु ही इस गुरुकुल का नारा है। विद्या का ये केंद्र अनूठा देता दुनिया को संदेश, पूरब पश्चिम उत्तर दक्षिण सबका अपना है ये देश। विविध रंग की संस्कृतियों का मेल एकता सिखलाए, विविध रंग की संस्कृतियों का मेल एकता सिखलाए। सिंधु सभ्यता आर्य सनातन देव बंध भी प्यारा है। शाकुंभरी मातु ने देकर अपना तेज सवारा है। तेजस्विनावधि तमस्तु ही इस गुरुकुल का नारा है। तेजस्विनावधि तमस्तु ही इस गुरुकुल का नारा है। इस गुरुकुल का नारा है। इस गुरुकुल का नारा है।
सुप्रिया प्लीज come there.
So soothing, melodious and beautiful, Supriya. Thank you so much. And I request one and all to take your seat, please.
Good singing. I'm so happy. Really so happy.
Supriya is getting reward from our Honorable Vice Chancellor Ma'am for her beautiful, wonderful presentation. Now,
तो बता दीजिए। वो फोन आ रहे हैं बराबर। क्या है? हाँ मिलिट्री में देखो सब लोग रहेंगे ना। You stay for the day. थोड़ा अर्ली है। That time because they take long time. Nika madam को देखा क्या?
आपको पता है हमारे रिश्ते ऐसे ना, आप होस्ट हो।
डॉक्टर आरती की एक तारीफ है कि तारीफ बहुत अच्छी करती है। मुझे सिद्दीकी कहते हैं, लाइब्रेरी साइंस का विद्यार्थी हूँ और मुझे ये अवसर मिला कि लीगल स्टडीज़ के एक बहुत ही बर्निंग एरिया में मुझे आमंत्रित किया गया। दो आई एम नॉट डायरेक्टली रिलेटेड टू द थीम ऑफ द सेमिनार बट डेफिनेटली इनडायरेक्टली रिलेटेड बिकॉज we at Chaudhry Chand Singh University Meerut provide facility of plagiarism software not only for research scholars but also to the faculty members of the university campus. So I have tried my best to compile some slides so that I can share my experience with you. May I know the gathering in this seminar hall? Are there research scholars? Is there any research scholar? Raise your hands. Assistant professors? Yes, now I am happy. Why I have asked this? Because my discussion is related to the research scholars and the newly appointed assistant professors. I mean, who write something for the development of the subject. सबसे पहली बात यह है कि ये जो शब्द है भारत में इसका उच्चारण भी सही से नहीं हो पाया. Actually it is plagiarism, but we call it as plagiarism क्योंकि हमारी जबान पे चढ़ गया ये. An academic dishonesty, यही इसकी डेफिनेशन है, इसके अलावा कुछ भी नहीं. एक चोर साइकिल चोरी करता है, उसके लिए ये कह दिया जाता है अरे ये तो चोर है, ये तो पिछले महीने ही छूट के आया जेल से. कोई इसको महत्व नहीं देता. बट as far as academicians are concerned, अगर वो चोरी करे तो ये माफी के काबिल बिल्कुल भी नहीं है. और ये मेरा एक्सपीरियंस है क्योंकि ये काम मैं खुद करता हूँ. क्या काम? प्लेगरिज्म चेक करना, ये मैं खुद करता हूँ. तो जो कुछ मैंने नोटिस किया ड्यूरिंग चेक, उन्हीं को मैंने स्लाइड में परिवर्तित कर दिया कि जो रिसर्च स्कॉलर्स हैं या जो ऑथर्स हैं, जो टीचर्स हैं, वो जब रिसर्च पेपर लिखते हैं या जब वो बुक चैप्टर लिखते हैं या रिसर्च स्कॉलर जब अपना थीसिस लिखता है तो वो कहाँ किस स्टेज पर क्या गलती करता है जिससे प्लेगरिज्म आता है. तो वो जो एक्सपीरियंस है, प्रैक्टिकल एक्सपीरियंस, उसी की ये स्लाइड बनी हुई है. सबसे पहली बात ये करनी है कि अभी भी आज की डेट में भी बहुत से रिसर्च स्कॉलर्स ऐसे हैं जो अभी भी मानने को तैयार नहीं कि प्लेगरिज्म कुछ है. अरे ये तो हमारी यूनिवर्सिटी में कर रखा है, वहां तो नहीं होता ऐसा. तो मैं मजबूर हो गया एक नई स्लाइड ऐड करने में, जो कि मैंने नंबर 1 पर ऐड कर दी ताकि वो कंफ्यूजन दूर हो जाए. Yes, please. What UGC says, ये मेरा नहीं है. It has been taken from the website of the University Grants Commission. What exactly UGC has said. और ये जो रेड कलर में लिखा हुआ है, ये ज्यादा ध्यान से पढ़ने वाली बात है. ये रेगुलेशन केवल और केवल रिसर्च स्कॉलर्स के लिए नहीं है. It is equally applicable to the students, I mean PG students, the research scholars, the faculty members, and the staff. And the staff. अगर कोई आपके कॉलेज में बाबू है और वो कोई कविता लिख रहा है, उसको भी इससे गुजरना पड़ेगा. और जितने भी रेनाउंड पब्लिशर्स हैं वर्ल्ड ओवर, वो बिना ब्लैंक सर्टिफिकेट के कोई भी आपका पेपर पब्लिश या स्वीकार नहीं करता. राइट? तो इसमें यूजीसी की गाइडलाइंस है, ये रेगुलेशन 2018 में स्पष्ट है. इट इज मैंडेटरी फॉर स्टूडेंट्स, रिसर्च स्कॉलर्स, फैकल्टी मेंबर्स एंड द स्टाफ ऑफ हायर एजुकेशन इंस्टीट्यूशंस इन इंडिया. क्लियर? जब भी कोई डिसीजन होता है उसका भारत सरकार की तरफ से गजेट पब्लिश होता है. राइट? ये दूसरा प्रूफ है. ये इसलिए स्लाइड शामिल की गई कि जिस दिन वो गजेट जारी होता है, पब्लिश होता है, उसी डेट से लागू होता है. इसमें डेट लिखी हुई है, आपको नजर नहीं आ रही, ये डिस्प्ले थोड़ा वैसा है. ये जुलाई 2018 से सभी पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट स्टूडेंट्स, रिसर्च स्कॉलर्स, फैकल्टी मेंबर्स और स्टाफ पर समान रूप से लागू कर दिया गया है। यानी जुलाई 2018 के बाद जो भी पीएचडी सबमिट होगी वो प्लैग सर्टिफिकेट के साथ होगी। आपका जो भी रिसर्च पेपर आप किसी भी पब्लिशर को भेजेंगे, प्लैग सर्टिफिकेट मैंडेटरी है, राइट? व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इट इज, है क्या ये भी कोई किताब की डेफिनेशन नहीं है, ये वही है जो मैंने नोटिस किया। आपके कंट्रीब्यूशन को जब मैं चेक करता हूं तो जो प्रॉब्लम्स मैं फेस करता हूं, बच्चे के द्वारा जो की गई गलती होती है उसी को परिभाषा में बदल दिया। To use the words or ideas as of another person as if they were your own words or ideas. Simple. और ये अपने आप में एक डेफिनेशन बन गई प्लेगरिज्म की। To use another's production without crediting the source. बता दें, research is a word that is formed by the combination of two different words, re and search. ये तो क्लियर हो गया, जब तक पढ़ोगे नहीं रिसर्च नहीं होगी। और आपके थीसिस में, आपके रिसर्च पेपर में एक हेडिंग होता है रिव्यू ऑफ लिटरेचर। व्हाट डू यू डू इन दैट? यही तो करते हो आप, पढ़ते हो ना। What has already been published on the topic on which you are going to start your work. That is called review of literature. तो जब आप पढ़ेंगे दूसरे का और उसको अपने वर्क में लेकर के आएंगे, आपको करना क्या है? उसको एक्नॉलेज करना है। Using someone else's work or words, ideas, researches without the approval or the acknowledgement of the writer and claiming the credit for themselves. पहले जमाने में लोग राइटिंग में लेते थे परमिशन, राइटिंग के साथ आई एम वर्किंग ऑन दिस पर्टिकुलर एरिया ऑफ डोमेन एंड आई हैव गॉन थ्रू योर पब्लिकेशन एंड आई फील दैट योर वर्क इज मोर रेलिवेंट फॉर माई पर्पस, वुड यू प्लीज अलाउ मी। वो राइटिंग में परमिशन देता था और उसके बाद आप उसको शामिल करते थे। राइटिंग का कंसेप्ट अब खत्म हो गया। अब क्या कंसेप्ट है? आपको एक्नॉलेज करना है, आपको साइट करना है। Whatever you have taken from other sources of information, you have to give the citation. Excuse me. आवाज ना निकली 5 सेकंड तक। और डॉक्टर साहब मेरे हाथ में से सीडी देगी वापस। सर मैं भी आऊंगा, 15 दिन नहीं आए फिर। तो फिर मशीन से क्यों पूछ रहे हो जब तुम्हें सब पता है? तो वी हैव दिस सॉफ्टवेयर आल्सो दैट डिटेक्ट्स, ये सारी नीचे लैंग्वेजेस लिख रही हैं, इन सबको पकड़ता है। यस प्लीज नेक्स्ट। क्यों प्लैग चेक किया जाता है? इसलिए किया जाता है जिस दिन आपको डिग्री अवार्ड हो जाएगी उसके वेरी नेक्स्ट डे आपका थीसिस जो है वो शोध गंगा पे आ जाएगा। शोध गंगा इज ए रिपोजिटरी ऑफ थीसिस सबमिटेड टू इंडियन यूनिवर्सिटीज। अब अगर आपने कहीं नकल कर ली, अब थीसिस आपका शोध गंगा पर आ गया और मैंने उसको देख लिया, क्योंकि ये वेब एनेबल्ड है, पब्लिक डोमेन पर है, दुनिया में कोई भी देख सकता है, पढ़ सकता है। मेरी नजर पड़ गई, अरे ये तो मेरा रिसर्च पेपर था, ये यहां कहां से आ गया, आपके लिए परेशानी शुरू हो जाएगी। तो इसलिए भी जरूरी है शोध गंगा पोर्टल, इस पर आपके थीसिस जो है वो अपलोड होते हैं।
In business and leadership in 2023 and Sashakti Nari Samman for Women Entrepreneurship Award in 2024, as we have celebrated International Women's Day on 8th March, 2 days back, and we are very privileged to have you, ma'am, here with us in this seminar. And Ms. Isha Sharma, ma'am is founder of Trambaka and Vibroid, which is a law firm. She is member of many editorial and national and international bodies, including Global Council for the Promotional International Trade, International Association for the Protection of Intellectual Property, and Worldwide Independent Lawyer League. I invite Ms. Isha Sharma ji to share her valuable knowledge and enlighten us on the topic entitled Introduction.
I would like to thank management and organizing committee as well as the participants for giving me this opportunity. It is going to be more on the technical side of it, and I have tried my level best to put certain examples to make it more, I would say, reachable and user friendly, because it gets too monotonous when it comes to the entire process. So I would like to skip the introduction part. You can just move to the skip. Right. So first of all, I want to understand and probably ask you that what do you understand about intellectual property or in general property? Can anybody tell me? It is going to be a little interactive, so I would want participants to probably answer a bit. Anything that you know about intellectual property? Any terminology that you know in IP? Okay. So basically, the property is divided into different parts. Like you have a movable property, immovable property. So आप सबके पास एक mobile phone होता है, laptop होता है. Maybe you are living in a house. So the house would be immovable property, and the property that you can move from one location to another is a movable property. So that can be mobile phones or laptops. So what is intellectual property? That is basically a property that you create by application of your mind. So अगर आपके पास कोई एक idea आता है startup का, that can be considered as an IP. If you start a logo, that can be considered as an IP. अगर as we were discussing more about the thesis and PhD, तो वो जो आप content लिखते हैं is also a form of intellectual property that is covered under copyright. I don't think it is visible, but this says all I asked was, can I patent my copyrighted trademark? So can anybody tell me what is wrong with this question? Okay, so we will get to see the answer of this once we finish the slide. So I'll come back to this question once we finish the session, and then probably you'll be able to answer. So what is IP? We have different forms as we were discussing. एक copyright होता है, patent होता है, trademark है, industrial designs है, geographical indication है, trade secrets है, semiconductors है, and plant varieties. These are the 7 types of intellectual property, and each property will have a different subject head. कि अगर आपने कुछ नया innovation किया है, say आपने smart watch बनाया for the first time, या आपने mobile phone बनाया है for the first time, so that will be covered under your patent law. And अगर आप कोई भी famous brand का नाम लेते हैं, say Samsung, जो mobile phones बना रहे हैं, तो the brand name would be protected under a trademark, right? So this is one example that will help you to understand IP in a more layman and general manner. So हम सबके पास मोबाइल फ़ोन होता है. आप different categories के मोबाइल फ़ोन यूज़ कर सकते हैं. Like आप Samsung यूज़ करते हैं, iPhone यूज़ करते हैं, Oppo यूज़ करते हैं, और any other mobile phone that you like. So उस मोबाइल के अंदर की जो टेक्नोलॉजी है, वो अगर नई है और उसे कोई प्रोटेक्ट करना चाहता है, तो वो पेटेंट के लिए फाइल करेगा. एंड द नेम्स दैट आई डिस्कस्ड, सो अगर सैमसंग का नाम है या उसका लोगो है, एप्पल का लोगो है, वो ट्रेडमार्क के अंदर आता है. एंड एनीथिंग विच इज रिलेटेड टू द सॉफ्टवेयर, यूजर मैनुअल्स और रिंगटोन्स ऑफ द मोबाइल फोन. सो आप जितने भी सॉफ्टवेयर देखते हैं जो कि डाउनलोडेड फॉर्म में होते हैं, वो सारा आपका कॉपीराइट के अंदर फॉल होता है. एंड द एस्थेटिक अपील ऑफ द मोबाइल फोन. So nowadays we have like different mobile phones with different design. Like अगर आपको याद हो, BlackBerry का एक different design था. Nowadays we have 3-fold or 2-fold mobile phones. So वो सब आपका डिज़ाइन में फॉलो होता है, which is basically the outer appearance and the aesthetic appeal of the product. And trade secrets is something that you don't file it into all these categories. So अभी हमारे पास trade secret का law नहीं है इंडिया में, but it is under the process. So once that will be implemented, then you will be able to protect something under the trade secret law as well.
Enterprise. She holds doctorate in plant sciences. She was awarded DST Women Scientist Fellowship in the area of intellectual property rights. She is a registered patent attorney at Indian Patent Office and registered technology transfer professional and has over 15 years of experience in intellectual property and technology management. Also at Biotic, she mentors the startups on devising the strategy for patent filing and their protection in different jurisdictions and on technology licensing and acquisition. Further, she has facilitated the transfer of technologies in different domains. She was also selected for Technology Transfer Course 2013, offered under Khurana program, which is sponsored by Department of Biotechnology, Government of India at University of Wisconsin and Madison. Prior to these, working in Biotic, she has had experience in different law firms like Lakshmi Kumaran and Siddharan and Jaffa and Javli. It is our honor to have ma'am with us and get enlightened from her knowledge and experience. I invite ma'am to present her talk and share her knowledge on the topic Biotech's role in creating the biotech startup innovation ecosystem. Ma'am, please. Please give us a big round of applause.
And I'm standing between lunch and so very quickly let me introduce about the organization where I work, which is the Biotechnology Industry Research Assistance Council. Before I go into the presentation or I brief about the organization, let me thank the organizing committee and especially to Honorable VC ma'am. She is also I did my PhD under her guidance. So thank you, organizing committee and ma'am inviting me and having me here. So can we go to the next slide, please? So this presentation is about the organization. Have you ever heard of Department of Biotechnology, DBT, which comes under Ministry of Science and Technology? So if you know about DBT, so DBT actually funds for the academic institutions. They don't fund for the, that time, they were not into the translational research, more into the academic or the basic sciences where they were providing funds. Then every department or every ministry, they prepare a strategy document. Within that strategy document, somewhere in 2000 or 2000, between 2000 and 2005, they decided to have an organization which can fund to the biotech companies. And if you know, during that time, India as a country started the biotech courses in different universities. But after graduating or post-graduating, even after doing, completing the PhDs or postdocs, everybody was like, what we should do? There is no job. So that time, DBT actually came and envisaged, like we should have an organization which can fund for the translational research and especially for the biotech companies, because no other organization, no other ministry was doing that. If we, keep aside the IT department, right? Software companies, they go to the IITs and get their work done from the IIT students. But in biotech, it was not happening. Then they envisaged this, and then BIRAP. So when I say BIRAP, B-I-R-A-P, so DBT started this as a pilot program. Let's run this program. If we get succeed, then we will form a company. or a Government of India enterprise. So before starting the BIRAC, what DBT did, they started a scheme where they decided and they were funding to the small and medium biotech companies. Even that point of time, Biocon was also one of the beneficiary, receiving those grants from the Department of Biotechnology. All the big companies, they came forward, got the DBT grant, and they, started research in this area. And then it slowly, we started this, having the biotech people within the country, and they should get job within the country. So then in 2012, because this pilot program somehow got succeeded, and government decided, let's form a company, let's form a council, which will be a Government of India enterprise. And then, and how BIRAC came into picture. So we are a central public sector unit. We come under the Ministry of Science and Technology. We are an extended arm of DBT, Department of Biotechnology, and our mandate is very clear. Mandate is to bridge the gap between academia and industry. So academic research is happening in the biotech sector. So and then companies are doing something in isolation, but they don't interact. How they can come at one platform? So one of the mandate of our organization is to bridge that gap. The another mandate is to fund the research and in all the sectors of the biotech, so that affordable products can come in the market for the people of the country, right? So affordability is another aspect. And third point is create the startup in the biotech sector. And BIRAC is the only organization which actually started funding startup companies in the biotech. Usse pehle, nobody was doing. Now, different ministries are coming up with same model where they will be funding. So now they are coming with the sector agnostic. So METI, if you have heard about the METI, which is the electronic ministry, so they are funding startups in the electronic sector. I was, day before yesterday, I was there in the ICMR meeting. So now they are coming up with the same model of BIRAC. They will be funding the medical devices and diagnostic startup companies. Even Department of Pharma, they will be funding startups in the pharma sector. So everywhere you will see the startup companies or the startups growing in different sectors, and including the biotech. So with this, so we started funding the startups, and later on we realized there are so many ideas which individual students, whether they are the postgraduate or they have completed PhDs or postdoc, why we should not fund them? Can take forward with the help of the mentor and the guidance, and this project is generally given for a year or for 18 months, where you will also get a grant from the government to work on that idea. Can you? So if you see this arrow says like ideation to market. So we have different program which covers all the phases of the product development life cycle. So product development life cycle क्या होती है? जो कि एक ideation से start होती है, idea से start होती है. Idea से start होके जब आप idea पे काम करते हैं, जैसा कि अभी हमने IT की सेशन सुने, जब regulatory approval चाहिए, उसी समय पे या उससे पहले आप सोचते हैं कि हमें IT भी फाइल करना चाहिए, ठीक है?
या लुकिया
चलो ओके करा लीजिए आप लोग.
ओके मैम, थैंक यू.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Speaking, I do not deserve such introduction. So my topic is on which I have been asked to speak. Yeah, online. That is the protection of literary right. In fact, the protection of literary right is basically the protection of copyright in literary work. There is nothing like protection of literary right. अच्छा करीब करना? ओके. इसको ऐसे लगा दे यार. ऐसे नहीं पाएगा. अच्छा थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम. Okay. So what am I saying, that it is the protection of copyright under the. अच्छा. Okay. The protection of copyright in literary work. There are two things which I would like to say before starting the lecture. First is that being a student of law, my focus during this lecture will be on the pure legal aspects, the legal intricacies of the law. I will discuss what the law says about the protection of a copyright holder in the specific field, that is literary work. Second thing is, law is kind of dry terrain. You might feel certain kind of disinterested. So please be attentive and listen carefully so that we all can be benefited from the discussion. We can divide the period so far as the literary rights are concerned into two parts. The first part relates to the pre-printing era, and the second part is after the invention of the printing press. Regarding the pre-printing area, we find there was no issue of having a copyright or for ownership in any literary work. What was the reason? Can anybody tell what was the reason? Why people were not interested in having a copyright in literary work in the pre-printing era? Yes, it was one of the reasons that they were not aware that copyright exists or ownership right exists in literary work. The main reason was there was no scope of any copying of the work, because there is a book available, a writer has written a book, and if you want to copy it, it will take years and years in writing that book. After the invention of the printing press, what happened? We could copy the work in just a very small time. So because the infringement, the possibility of the infringement of ownership right of a literary holder were increased many times after the invention of the printing press. That's why it came to the mind of the pupil that we should have an ownership right in our work. When we are declared that we are the owner of something, what the law will establish. The law will establish in the sense, law will give you certain rights as being the owner of that. Here we can divide the here again, one point more interesting point is, if we look at the Indian context, we find that in the good olden days, when people wrote something and that was of very high intellectual piece of work, they thought that what they are doing, what they are writing, they are doing it by the order of the God. They are representing the words of the God in writing that piece of work. That's why they were not interested in any commercial aspect of that thing. Their only concern was what? Their concern was that they will feel honored that they have been asked to do something which was the privilege of the God to do. The God has selected them to write something on their behalf. For example, the Vedas, for example, the Gita, what they are? They have written by human beings, but they are the divine words. They are the words of the God. Since they are the words of the God, but God Himself has not written them, God assigned this word to some people, so they felt privileged that we are honored by the God. So there was no commercial aspect in that. Now, before going into what is the literary work, it was the description that what happened before the pre-printing era and after the pre-printing era. Now, we will come to the point what is the copyright, because as I said in the beginning of the discussion, we are not concerned at this stage about the literary right, but we are concerned with the copyright in literary work. That's what the law protects. So what is the meaning of copyright? The word copyright is derived from the word copier of words. It was used for the first time in 1586. So after the passing of the Copyright Act 1957, this ownership of copyright has become a statutory right. But apart from the statutory definition of copyright, if we look at the general definition of copyright, it is an intangible incorporeal right in something which gives the ownership to a person, and being the owner of that thing, he has the exclusive right to exploit his or her invention. What is incorporeal intangible right? Any question please? Incorporeal intangible? We have two kinds of properties. The students of law know this thing. We have corporeal property and incorporeal property. Corporeal properties are those properties which we can see, which we can touch. This seminar hall is a corporeal property. Corporeal rights are tangible rights. Tangible rights means you can show somebody that look, this is my property. The land of another person is an incorporeal right, because you cannot show anybody, look, come here, I have a right to go from this. You can go on the land of another person, but you cannot show anybody that look, this is my particular right and this is the way I can cross the land. So this is a incorporeal intangible right. Initially it is an intangible right, but when it is converted into some concrete form, in some material form, it becomes a tangible thing. When it becomes tangible thing, then you get the power of exploiting it. You get the authority of commercializing, using it. So this is the definition of copyright. Now come to the Indian copyright law. As I said, it started in the year 1914, and after the independence, first copyright law was passed in the year 1957. After that, it was amended multiple times, and we also have copyright rules starting with 2012. Copyright कहलाते हैं वो, ये सारे के सारे हमारे बर्न कन्वेंशन, ये इंटरनेशनल कन्वेंशंस में आते हैं. Of what level of originality is required? Now the जो चीज हम अब तक देखते आ रहे हैं, able to make it qualified for the grant of copyright. The level of originality does not mean that it should be original in ideas. Ideas are not protected in copyright, or for that matter in even patent, or for that matter even in trademark. In any IPR regime, the ideas are not the monopoly of an exclusive person. Anybody can use the ideas. कि अगर हम ideas का protection देने लगेंगे law में, तो एक chaos create हो जाएगा. Everybody will say, look, that was my idea. Unless something concrete comes, something comes in the concrete form, something comes in the form of the material thing, something comes in the form of tangible things. इससे पहले तो क्या था? Idea is an intangible thing. You cannot show it to another person. After conversion into writing or expression, what happens? It becomes a material thing. It becomes a tangible thing. So law protects tangible things. It starts with the intangible, converted into tangible afterwards.
Now we are in the valedictory session, and I would take this opportunity and honor to invite our Honorable Vice Chancellor Ma'am for her address. Ma'am, please. Thank you so much.
So my dear friends, you have all heard a wonderful day today. There were 4 speakers in all, and all the aspects of intellectual property rights have been covered. Well, this was an initial seminar in which you could have some glimpse of every aspect. However, I believe that you might have gathered where you can excel, which part you can catch over, whether you can produce a copyright or a patent, or is there any possibility of making trademarks also if you are opening your own section or your own company. We were thinking about a Section 8 company also, and if you are opening as an entrepreneur, then you can also have some trademark. And all have to be registered, all have to be licensed. Which part of your work can get a patent, whether it is an Indian patent or a US patent, whatever you wish to get, you can. There is a patent fees which is nominal in case of Indian patents, but it is very high in case of US patent. So, university will also support you if only you are getting some good patents done. University is there for you, for your researchers, for your good work. It is always going to help you. I'm right. Because the finance officer is here, so he'll have to make provisions. Yes, I'm saying so. So there must be some provision for such help to be offered. Besides that, you can write good articles, you can write good books, reviews and books, you can have a copyright on them. So all these things value a lot for your own career as well as for us also. If you are growing, we are also growing. This university will grow along with its components. So be with us, come on, come up, take the staircase and fly above. This is what you have to do. So I'm very happy that energetic young teachers are here who have taken the whole command of the seminar today. And shortly we are going to have a capacity building program also, for which almost everything has been done, and the next week same time we'll be here since morning and for 12 days the things will go on. Meanwhile we'll have many more things, many more meetings to go on to support you all. We want the students and the faculty members to be supported the best. So this is our, in the very first year I think of this only. I have come only 2 months back and I feel that many things have to be done till you come up to show up yourself, that in the world your name is there, it is reflecting in the papers everywhere and you get the citations. This is what I think, this is my thing. So for today, I wish you all the best. You might have learned a lot. Just remember what you have learned. So go home and then write up what you have done today and what you have come to know and learn. Something new which you might have learned. So just put it up in your diary, note it down for the next step to take. Never think that you have only to sit there and just to listen without having any question in your mind. I think this is not going to make you grow anywhere. If you want to stand in your career anywhere, then you will have to come up with all the ideas, with novel things. If you just put your mind into it, you are all well read. You have just to put your mind into it and you will find that you are yourself paving the path of many others for novelties to come up. It's a wonderful brain that you have. Indian brain is supposed to be one of the best and it is there with us. So again, wish you all the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for inspiring us and motivating us. And yes, we will continue this legacy under your leadership. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
आप भी आ जाओ.
Okay, da.
आप लोग कर रहे हैं, you are doing all good work.
Prateek.
Sir. Wait करें sir. Okay sir.
Thank you so much. And yes, finally we are. Please give a big round of applause. It is understood. This last one more to request.
Thank you all, and good afternoon to all. It's indeed a great privilege to stand before you today to deliver the vote of thanks for the insightful and thought-provoking one-day national seminar on emerging trend in intellectual property rights. It is an absolute honor for me to extend a heartfelt thanks to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Vimalawai Ma'am, for gracing this seminar with their presence and valuable words of wisdom. Ma'am, your encouragement, leadership, and unwavering support for academic excellence has always been a guiding force for us. Your presence here today is a testament to your commitment to fostering knowledge, research, and innovation, especially in the field of science and technology. Your inspiring work has not only motivated us, but also reinforced the importance of continuous learning and intellectual discourse in the shaping of bright future. On behalf of our organizing team, I sincerely thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to be with us today. Your insights and vision will undoubtedly leave a lasting impact on us. Thank you, ma'am. I express my sincere thanks to our esteemed chief guests, Gulshan Nagpal, Dr. Suneja sir, and other for their valuable presence in this very events.
पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नाम आशीष मांगे गाए तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you everyone, thank you ma'am. Thank you very much, thank you all for not only for participating but for being here till now. Thank you for conducting, doing everything.